Okay, so I'm going to do this Juvias Place foundation, concealer, and eyeshadow. I didn't get the setting powder just because I know I should have, just to try it in combination with these products, but I have so many setting powders, and I just got the Becca setting powder, the hydrating powder in my bottom, and I'm still going to get the Juvias Place setting powder. I'm just not going to get it right now. I just couldn't rationalize it. So, as you know, with the Juvias eyeshadow palettes, they don't come with the mirror, which kind of sucks because they're really good palettes, and I'm going to be using the Saharan palette. Really pretty colors, of course, per usual. And I'm going to just create a look using this palette. You know, I like these guys, you know. And then I have like 3 of these sitting on my makeup station that somehow or another they forgot to get put in the box. So I'm going to have to go through my palettes and see which ones are missing. So because it doesn't come with a mirror, I have to use my little portable mirrors, and then I've got multiple mirrors on my vanity that I use. And yes, I just did my brows because it's so time consuming doing my brows. Sitting in natural sunlight per usual. Well, as much as I can, I like to sit in natural sunlight, you guys know. I just think it really just gives you the best application for your makeup, the best lighting, because this is what it's going to look like when you get in the car. And if you've noticed, when you get in the car, you check your makeup. I know you do. We all do, more than once. We look in the mirror probably while we're driving. The first half hour, we've probably looked in the mirror about 5 or 6 times already. So I already know. Except those of you who really don't like touch up your makeup or anything throughout the day, and you really don't, you know, not so much you don't care what your makeup looks like, but it's just not like your first priority. And I can't go anywhere without some sort of CC cream, or definitely with my brows. I know my brows look really intense right now, but I'm going to lighten them up like I usually do. Just like the front part of my brows. And I'm going to just set my eyelids using my Laura Mercier powder. And I really need to put this away and start using one of my other setting powders. I did try the Becca hydrating powder. I like it. It's really cooling. I didn't use it all over my face. Actually, I used it once. I can't lie. I did use it one time. So, it does feel really good on your skin. I haven't refreshed my face with it because you can refresh your face with it. And I have not done that. So, I guess I'll do that and then let you guys know. I don't know why I don't put my brushes up. I have brushes everywhere. I'm going to go in with, I don't know what the shade is called. I'm not going to name the shades because it takes too much time to sit here and try to figure out the names. Sorry, my little wastebasket was over there. And I can't look in the mirror, so I kind of have to go back and forth. And I'm just using this shade as my transition shade. It's kind of like a light chocolate looking color. I'll read the shades off when I'm done doing this makeup look. So I hope everybody's doing well. My if you've watched any of my current videos, have been talking about empaths and PTSD and narcissists. And the one thing that I did want to say is I don't believe that narcissists are born into this world as narcissists. I think they are created, and I don't think it's something you're born with. It's not like part of your original DNA. I did say that it is hereditary, so that you could, I don't know, I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself, because they say it could be genetics. You know, obviously they're still testing. They're still doing like, you know, testing on the brain and what causes what, and what are the reasons, and what are the side effects, and, you know, what are the long-term effects, and, you know, is it something that can be cured or treated, if not cured? So it's just a very, very sad, I like to call it like an illness, because it really is an illness, because you can't really, I was going to look in the mirror, you can't really, you know, be treated for it other than, like I said before, counseling. I mean, but this is the thing, you guys, is the narcissist person doesn't even know that they're a narcissist, because they don't think there's anything wrong with them. So you'll know that if you're with a narcissist, or you have been with a narcissist, and you call them out on it, you are the crazy one. And you will look crazy, because you're talking about things that you don't have facts, you know, like quote unquote facts. You just have behavior and patterns, and just know that one of the behaviors with a narcissist is love bombing. And the love bombing is what makes you look past the red flags. I saw this quote, and it was this guy on his, kind of like on one bended knee, you know, like if he's going to propose or whatever. And he had a bouquet of red flags. And it was talking about the love bombing that takes place, and it just, you bypass all of the red flags, because you're just in awe of all these gifts that you've just been given, or brought to you, or presented to you. And that's what they do. And they have a sense, so they know when you're getting ready to, like, say, you know what, like, you're not the person that I thought you were. And when you're getting ready to make that change, or, I don't know, walk away, or, you know, they can tell, anybody can tell when you're out of character and you're acting a little bit different. So when you do that, what they do to suck you back in is they love bomb you. They give you, you know, flowers or money or jewelry. You know, it's just a whole love bombing situation taking place. So with the love bombing, I think that you have, that is kind of your opportunity to not take a gift. Like, don't accept it. And I know that's hard to do. I know that's really hard to do, especially if you're like in the stages where you guys are kind of like, you're not at the ending stage, but you're contemplating ending the relationship or leaving a relationship. And it's kind of hard to, if you've told that narcissist that you're considering, you know, leaving, that, you know, things aren't working out, you know, you guys can't see eye to eye, again, that's why I tell you, you know, be really careful with what information you share. And unless you're ready and you've already done your research and you've talked with, if you're married and you've talked with a, you know, I don't know, counselor, a lawyer, whoever, your pastor, when you know you're really ready to make that transition, don't give that information out until you're actually ready to do that. Because again, that puts you in a very dangerous position, because we don't know, the narcissist is so unpredictable that we don't really know like the possibilities, and it's not worth taking that risk. But again, if they want to give you a gift, if you've literally just told the narcissist, look, I'm like done here, you know, we're done, I think we've come as far as we're gonna go, and this just isn't working, and I think it's best that we just go our separate ways. Let's say you have that conversation and a little time goes by because, you know, life is busy, and I know this looks like a mess right here, but it's going to get better. Yeah, if you've just told the narcissist that, you know, like, I'm ready to go, like, this is, you know, enough is enough, like, I can't do this anymore, you know, I can't keep doing this little song and dance of having the same argument, the same questions, the same things are being said, you're getting all the apologies, and I'll do better, I'll be better, I promise, I was just mad, I didn't mean it. Oh, they mean it. Trust me, they mean every word that they say. You know, they always say, like that saying is, oh, I was drunk, I didn't mean it, or oh, I was just mad, I didn't mean it. That is such a crock of shit, because when you're drunk, you blurt things out. You don't have a censor or a filter. When you're mad, you say things. I know I do. So right off the bat, you just tell that person, like, you know what? No. I know when people are mad, they say things, and they say what they feel, what's in their heart, what's in your heart comes out. And so when they tell you, I was mad, I didn't mean it, they're full of crap, because they did mean it. They just blurted it out and didn't mean to blurt it out at that moment, and then they regret blurting it out. So that is kind of how that works. So just be careful, and, you know, if you take that gift, whatever it is, even if it's, maybe it's something that you've wanted, or you wanted to buy yourself, or, you know, it's just too expensive and you just didn't want to spend the money yourself. Or maybe you told this person that you wanted it, excuse me, and so they go get it for you, or they show up, you know, with a surprise, and you guys are like, excuse me, literally maybe not speaking, and then they walk through the door with said gift, whatever it is, and you're like, what the heck? Like, you know, for me, what I say is stop. Like, stop buying stuff. Stop. We just had a conversation, like, we're borderline ready to go our separate ways, and we literally just had a conversation, and you're walking in with this gift. Like, stop spending money, stop buying me stuff, because it's not going to change how I feel. And a lot of people will say, well, that's how I show my love, by buying gifts. Like, a lot of men and women will say that, like, that's my love language. And that might be your love language, but my love language is love me and respect me and don't hurt me and be my friend and get to know me intellectually. And it doesn't matter what you buy. There's not enough love in the love materialistically in the world to sacrifice your integrity, to sacrifice your own feelings, to sacrifice your state of mind. There's just nothing worth that. So as you know, if you accept that gift, I pop my lashes on really quick because, as you guys know, I talk a lot, and I did color correct my under eye using my NYX in Papaya and my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. I believe it's like a light medium. And I'm just going to prime my face using my Anastasia favorite. So I just think that if you accept the gift, that you're basically just telling them that it's okay. Like, the behavior is okay. Like, you can continue, you know, treating me like I don't exist, or not even so much you don't exist, but your like ideas, your way of living or thinking is just so not what's normal and acceptable. In actuality, they pretty much live in a planet of one, because there's no getting through. Like, there's literally no getting through. And that's the sad part of it, is if you've fallen in love with a narcissist, oh, I just feel bad for you, because I know what it's like. And maybe some things aren't as bad as other things, and maybe some abuse isn't as bad as other abuse that you've been through, but no abuse is okay, you know. Just because the severity of it isn't as bad as your last relationship, or, you know, this is the foundation, by the way, the Juvias Place foundation, and it comes in a squeezy tube, so I'm figuring that's about a pump. And I don't know what shade this is. Anyway, I'm using the Juvias Place foundation. And this is really good coverage, by the way. Really good coverage. This is one of my favorite foundations. This reminds me, it doesn't have like a really good scent to it. Doesn't really have a scent. It reminds me a little bit of the Huda foundation, minus the beautiful scent that Huda foundation has. Oh my god, that is just the best smelling foundation. And the coverage is bomb. So this video was not to talk about narcissists, but I did want to touch base on kind of what I had talked about in my last video, and how was a narcissist created? You know, how were they made? Or were they born that way? And I'm doing research right now on if you've been severely damaged, you know, by abuse, let's say childhood abuse growing up, if you've been severely damaged and then you're struggling with, you know, meeting the same type of person, drawing in that same type of personality, and you just don't know how you always end up in the same position, is it possible to actually find love, healthy love? So I think that I think it is. I think that it's crazy, because I was telling my daughter, it's always life and relationships and love are always like, you know, people want what they can't have. So if you have them or they have you, they don't want you, or you're really like not feeling them, and we're all looking for something a little bit better And there's no perfect person, as we know. If you take a little bit of this and a little bit of that from different people, then you have the perfect person, and that's just not reality. But I think that you can fall in love. I think you can meet a healthy person. But again, we have to fix us. We have to fix our issues before we can just, we can't just keep going trying to find somebody to save us without working on our own stuff. And as long as we have the past hurts and the wounds that we haven't mended, so to speak, we're going to continue the cycle of the same relationship, but different people. You got to do the work, and you got to be willing to do the work. We can't expect this magical person to just appear in our lives. And I mean, it's possible, but very rare. Do your work. Do the work to heal yourself. Figure out what's going on with you. What about you maybe is drawing these types of people? Because I think if we have unresolved issues and we're just not so much we're looking, I think subconsciously, I don't know why it looks like, it looked a little orange up there. Not blended maybe. I'm not saying that we're looking like we're out looking for people, but I think subconsciously we want that perfect love. And what does that perfect love even look like? Would we know it if we saw it? Have we had it? Are we in it? There's so many questions, you guys. There's so many unanswered questions of the reality is life is hard. People are difficult. Relationships, whoa. Relationships are hard. This concealer, first of all, look at this bottle. It's like super fat. And I have mine in the shade 19. And comes in this cute little box, of course. You get a lot of product in here. It might even be the same amount of product. No, I think it's a little over 1 ounce. You can figure out how much product is in there. I'm not going to sit there and try to look at that little tiny number. But, and, oh yeah, I said I had the shade 19. Anywho, I think we can love. I think we can find love. I think there is a healthy love. I think it's scary because if you've been injured at an early age, abused, in your childhood or in relationships, it is hard to discern what is real love and what is just a mask. But again, there's signs, there's red flags. Pay attention to those signs. And again, we're gonna meet people that we really want to be that one person. And as badly as we want that, you really have to decide what's more important. Your temporary happiness that's going to fade because the mask is going to fall off and they're going to show their true self down the road when you're already sucked in, or you're already living with them, or you're already married to them. Is it worth your sanity? It's okay to be alone too, you guys. Especially if you've just gotten out of a relationship, a toxic relationship. It's probably the absolute best thing is to be alone, but we don't want to be alone. A lot of people can't be alone. Like, a lot of people, their way of getting over relationships and getting over, you know, people that they love, or the last relationship they were in and got really hurt. Like, a lot of times people will get into a relationship while they're still in a relationship, just to, because they don't want to go through the heartache. And you're still going to go through a heartache, but you have somebody else to keep you occupied and keep your mind occupied. And that's what a lot of us do. I've done it in the past. But work on you. Try to work on you the best you can before you try to get into another relationship, because you need healing time. You really do. It's like an injury. Your heart and your spirit is injured. And, you know, every injury needs healing time. Think about it. If you cut yourself, like, it hurts. The next day it hurts more. And it kind of starts to hurt more after a few days. Then it starts to scab over. And as long as you just leave it alone and let it heal on its own, you know, there won't be too much scarring. So it kind of goes the same way with our love life. If you've been hurt, try to heal. If you go from relationship to relationship, just try to prepare yourself for the possibilities. I like that coverage. I don't know how it's going to settle. I'm really dehydrated. I feel so bad because I have this water app on my phone, and it goes off every, I think it's like every hour, almost every hour it goes off. It makes the sound of like running water, and it tells you like when to drink water. And I've been using that app, although when it goes off, it'll say drink water, so you hit the button, and then it tells you how much water to drink and how much you drank, and you have to meet you put your weight in, you put your height, and then it tells you how much to drink by the end of the day. So sometimes I'll just dismiss it if I'm in the middle of doing something, and I'll just keep going. But I do try to keep water by my side, a bottle of water in my car, whatever, to take sips. You should always just sip on water anyway and not really like chug it. But anyway, you guys, that's my little philosophy on relationships and getting in and out of relationships, and knowing that when they're love bombing you, that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to distract you and trying to pull you back in, because they feel it and they see that you're ready to just like move on, because you're onto them. You are now onto them, and you're at a point where you're questioning, do I want to stay with this person? And they know that. Trying to blend right here. You see where that harsh line is? See how I just blended it? I don't know if you could tell. But it was like a harsh line where the foundation ended and the shadow began, and I kind of want it to just be blended so there's no harsh lines, because we know that's not pretty. It's not pretty, you know. It's important to do your makeup the right way, because people notice those things. Especially if you're in the makeup industry, you notice those things. You really do. I do. So we don't want those harsh lines. As I was saying with the under eyes, with my under eyes, I hope that it doesn't crease too much. I did use my Smashbox primer for my under eye, and I love this stuff, you guys. You have to get it, especially if you're prone to creasing, even if whether you're younger, you're older, mature. This Smashbox primer is really good for, it kind of just cuts out the creasing in your under eyes so that your concealer has longer wearing time. We're still going to crease, especially if we have mature skin. And some people have just like those, some girls have like those lines that are just, even young girls I see, like they're 25 and they've got like all these little lines under there. That has to suck, because I know it sucks just being a mature skin woman with creasing. I'm going to use this Becca setting powder, and it's hydrating, so I'm just going to put a little bit in the cap because it does have that little screen there. It's really finely milled. The reason I know that, not only by touching it, is because I just barely tapped it onto the lid and a whole lot came out. Like, that screen is pretty thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this on my under eye. I already set my foundation with my Laura Mercier, and I'm going to, whoa, this is weird. So okay, so I'm putting it on my damp sponge, right? And it's like just soaking it up. So because this is a hydrating powder, I don't know what it's going to do. So let's just see together. I'm going to start at the outer and go in, because I want the majority of the product on the outside. I don't want the powder, because too much powder is not pretty, even if you're 25. It will age. I'm shaking off some of the excess. It will age you. So less is more with powder. I know a lot of young girls like to bake, and they're like, man, I mean, it's white here, it's white down here. I mean, all the pretty makeup that they just put on, they put that powder on and it's gone. I don't know, I kind of like it. Like, it did like kind of soak up in the sponge, but it left enough on the sponge to set. I don't know if you can see. Ooh, I'm just gonna wear this like throughout the day and see how long I can go without my under eyes creasing, and maybe I'll come back and show you guys this Becca hydrating setting powder. I'm gonna put a little bit more right here on the sides. Side of my nose. And see how it wears. I love it. I'm gonna see how this wears. It's super cooling. If you guys got BoxyCharm, you got it, and I'm pretty sure they have it in the stores. I'm sure it's not just exclusive to BoxyCharm, but if you did get BoxyCharm and you got it in your box, and I'm pretty sure everybody got the same stuff. Just adding my favorite highlight, which is my Tarte Quad. I don't think they have it any longer. I haven't seen it in stores. So if you got this, I got this a couple years. Has it been a couple years? No, it's been about a year, I think. I've showed you guys, and it comes with a nice mirror, and it smells like cocoa. It still smells like cocoa, and it's got like the 4 different shades. You can see which ones I use the most. These shades right here I like to use for my body, so like for my neck, shoulders, my collarbones. I likes to do that. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not even done. I'm just gonna lightly go down the bridge of my nose. Sometimes I'll just put it here in the middle, and sometimes I'll do it on the tip. But I'm just gonna lightly go down the whole nose, just to give it a little bit more pop. Tiny bit on the chin, because we don't want to emphasize that texture, but we do want a little bit of a glow. Everywhere where the sun generally will hit, that's where we want it, or that's where I want it. Where's my little corner? I messed with my brushes yesterday because I was in a hurry, and oh my god, like, I have so many brushes. It's not a bad thing, but when you're looking for one specific brush, it's like you're looking for one specific brush in about 100 or more brushes. Just gonna put some on my inner corner, because you know that looks just so pretty. And I'm going to take this daylight up onto my brow bone. I actually don't really know exactly what I'm doing today. I did want to go to the dispensary. I wanted to take my mom to the dispensary because she's got really bad knees. She really needed knee surgery, but she didn't want to have it, and she waitressed for 30 some years, and so her knees got really bad from being on her feet like all those years. So I wanted to take her to the dispensary because they have a lot of CBD ointments, they have CBD drinks, they have CBD edibles, like just CBD, and they have to put on there that there's THC in them, just because there's probably like the slightest amount of THC. Like, you're not going to get high off the slightest amount of THC that's in there. You're just not. But she really gets scared and kind of freaks out thinking that I'm just dropping everything. One day I'm going to clean this station, but I just haven't been in the mood, especially since my leg was messed up and I tore the muscle. Like, I just have been doing like the minimum of everything and just doing my makeup and kind of just going about my day. I'm going to go back into the Nubian palette, and I'm going to take this shade right here, and I'm just going to put it on my lower lash line. Actually, yeah. So I'm going to call her and see if she wants to go with me to just pick out some CBD, you know, gummies or cookies, drinks. They have really good drinks. They taste just like grape soda. Like, there's this drink I got about a week ago or so. I put it on my Snapchat story. And it tastes exactly like grape soda. It's carbonated, and it had 10 milligrams of THC. And actually, you guys, it was just enough to relax me. And if you're afraid to try, you know, stuff like that, just, you know, do it in moderation. Like, just do small amounts. You know, take a small amount, let it, you know, wait a little bit, see how it, with edibles and anything that you consume that goes into your body, you always want to make sure you're eating something. Maybe something with a little bit more protein in it. And you so that it can, you know, activate the CBD. So anyway, babble, babble, babble. I told you guys I just talk way too much. So I'm going to see if she wants to go. She's always kind of like, no, I don't want to go. No. I think she just gets scared because she's afraid. So what happened one time was, and it's funny, but it's not funny. So I had these drops, these THC drops, and you just put a drop. They're kind of like peppermint scented or flavored, and you just put like 1 or 2 drops under your tongue. And she has a lot of pain, so I thought, you know, I'm not using the drops. For whatever reason, I just wasn't using the drops. And I gave her the drops. And so she did a drop before she went to bed one night. And she said it really helped. You know, she didn't feel high or anything. She said she felt, you know, pretty good. And then she, I was at work and she called me in a panic. I'm using this Profusion blush. There's 6 shades in here. I got this at Ross for $3.99. There's some really pretty shades. I'm going to use this shade right here. So she called me at work and she was just like, she's like, Des, like, I took those drops you gave me. I put 2 drops under my tongue. Like last night I did 1, and then, you know, it really wasn't that bad. And so I thought, you know, my legs were hurting pretty bad. So I thought I would do 2 drops instead of 1 drop. And I am so high right now and I'm really scared. I'm freaking out. Like, how long is this going to last? And so I told her, don't panic. I said, unlock your door just in case. Unlock your door. Lay down on the couch. Get a cold towel, wet towel, whatever, washcloth. Eat something if you can. Drink some juice or something, and, you know, within about 15-20 minutes it should start to, you know, wear off. She was so scared. Like, I know when I've smoked too much or I've eaten too much of an edible, and once you're there and you're like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, I am way too high right now. And, you know, it kind of defeats the purpose. Like, I'll do it for my pain, but I also do it for my anxiety. Sometimes I'll do just straight CBD. But anyway, she was terrified. So ever since that experience, she's been afraid to try different things. And even if it's 100% CBD and there's that like microscopic dot of THC, like that freaks her out. So I'm going to see if I could talk her into getting something. I have this stuff called Nordic Goddess. And it's like an ointment, and I use it on my stomach when my stomach is cramping. You can use it really anywhere. I think if you have a headache, you can just like rub it in that area. I did give her a little bottle of this salve. That's CBD salve for pain to put on her knees. You know, all that stuff helps. Everything helps a little bit. Does anything take everything away 100%? No, but every little bit helps. And so I'm going to see if I could talk her into just getting maybe some salve or some, I don't know, something that's going to help her with her pain. I really wish she would have the knee surgery, but it's kind of risky right now. So I'm just going to give her a call and see if she's willing to go with me and at least look. And maybe I could talk her into getting something. I'm not too sure. I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup because I talk too much. So I'm going to do some mascara. And I've been using this Big Ego by Tarte, and it's pretty good mascara. It is pretty much the Better Than Sex mascara. I might like it a little bit better than the Better Than Sex, but it is pretty good mascara. So this has been a bunch of randoms and stuff, so I'll be back in just a moment. So that is going to conclude this chit chat get ready with me with randoms, because, you know, I had a few different things to say and to touch on, and I just threw my hair up in a pony. So kind of looks like it's like a bob, but it's actually a ponytail. So, and I did put on this really pretty, this is one of my favorite lipsticks, and it's a matte lipstick by NYX, and it is in the shade It just basically says MLS 21. So no, that's not the shade, but you guys can see it's like a nude gray taupe. I think it's just the perfect shade. And I wish this was long wearing. I know there's a lip suede. I think I have it actually in the same NYX brand. Anyway, I have it. I think I'm almost positive that I have it. But anyway, that's the lip shade I chose for today. I'm sure it's going to wear off when I eat something. I'm thinking about going to Berry Blends and get me a bowl. If you haven't tried Berry Blends bowls, they have bananas, granola, like you could put anything in there. Blueberries, oranges, you could put antioxidants. Like there's all these different additives that you could do, vitamin C, immunity stuff. So it's really good and healthy. So anyway, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful. Per usual, subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And just remember, if nothing else, you guys take care of yourselves. Like, look out for yourselves, take care of you. And if you do have to be with somebody or you are with somebody, make sure it's somebody that's taking care of you. You're taking care of your mind, your heart, being gentle with you, you know, your general well-being. Make sure that they're, you know, looking after your best interest and asking you questions, you know, about how you're feeling or why you're so quiet. And, you know, you can get a general idea of if somebody's like digging for information to like maybe use it as ammunition later on. You can tell, we get vibes and we have an intuition. So we know when somebody's being on the up and up and when they're not. I do. I have a good judgment of character. I could read people within less than 5 minutes of speaking to somebody, and I know if we're vibing or not. And there's a lot of people that I don't vibe with, so I avoid a lot of situations and limit my time, if at all, with certain people. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Please leave your comments, questions, and suggestions down below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye.